So yeah, I'm watching content over everything. That's a channel on YouTube. Proper. Check it out. Real good dialogue from Speaker's Corner in central London. So I'm just checking out this current episode titled "Moses Apologizes." Speaker's Corner. Now Moses must be this guy in the middle, wearing glasses and like a salmon top, and he's surrounded by members of the black community, let's call it. So now, the context is this guy Moses was there grinning up with some guy, Asian guy or someone that was using the N-word, saying derogatory things about black people from what I can gather from this video. And, he's like, I apologize for being there, and smiling up and laughing, and people are pissed. People around him are pissed, obviously, because they're thinking, hold on, you're just making us look like dickheads even more. Like, they already think we're dickheads. That's the reason why they can use the N-word around man like you, smiling up. So for you to be there, smiling up and not having a code, you're making us look even worse, which I understand. Like, there's a lack of code in the black community. We have no code. There is no code. Once we get round other races, we just shatter because we want to be loved and liked by everybody else. We don't really respect ourselves. We don't really respect other black people. Hence the reason why I think that they're surrounding him, to be honest, because I don't think they'll go at any other white person. I think a white person could be at Speaker's Corner saying all types of racist shit. I don't think they'll get the type of response that this black guy got. We're real easy to go on. We're quick to go on, at each other. We'll put each other on the spot. We'll put the light under each other all day, and as you can see from the video. But when it comes down to the real system that oppresses us, the real people that oppress us, it's difficult. We're not really on it. We kind of fold. We kind of want to play nice and not being seen as a threat. But with anybody else the same color as us, we're just real quick to be on them. So, that's just my take on things. Now, you got this guy in the middle who apologizes for his actions of sort of grinning up with these racist Asian or Indian man. I don't know who this guy is, but his name's Tan, and he's using the N-word, banning it around like, like it's nobody's business. And obviously this guy Moses there was there grinning up, laughing. Now you got some personalities here, part of the G.A.N.G group, standing for G.A.N.G stands for Guiding a New Generation. Now you've got Jedi, who's the big one for the far back, and you've got you've got Respect. Now Jedi is kind of, he's on the wave of, you're a dickhead. Like, don't be coming around there with your black power, and then when you're around the next man, you're all grinning up when they're saying N-word. Don't be on that, Like, fuck that, Like, I'm not into that. So, and then you got Respect. Like, look, at the end of the day, he's our brother. We need to build him up, not tear him down because he's a black man like everybody else. But I'm saying that, like, Respect's point of view, I understand it and I empathize with it, and it's like a altruistic point of view, like, look, let's try and build man up, not tear man down. Personally, fuck that though, because these guys these guys like Moses, they would be the first to throw you under the bus. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, like John Henry Clark said. So it's these guys like that would throw you under the bus. Respect, no word of a lie. Put him around a room of white people and you'll see his true colours. That's what they say. Black people all big talk. That's all fine. But when you're around white people is when the real you comes out. That's where the scaredy cat comes out. That's when the real you comes out. So he'll throw you under the bus, Respect, in a drop of a hat. I'm thinking. And he's only there apologising because obviously he just doesn't really want to, he knows he's not going to get accepted by this guy Tan side. He ain't going to be, because he's just a black guy, innit? So if this guy Tan is using the N-word, his associates and these people around him will probably think the same thing. They might not use it explicitly, but they're thinking the same thing. And this guy Moses probably knows that. So he doesn't want to be sidetracked, or he doesn't want to be benched by the black community. Hence the reason why he's there apologizing and kind of being like, at the end of the day, I apologize, I shouldn't have been there. Da, 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 da. But you can tell this guy's a big man. He's probably in his 40s. He's not a youngster. He's a big man. He's a big man, cooning it up like that. So I'm watching this and I'm just thinking, and I'll share the video with you at the end, and you can I won't show all of it, but I'll show you clips of it. So obviously, Jedi, he walks off because he's like, look, I'm done with this. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I've said what I've needed to say. This guy is just fake. That's his view on it. This guy is just fake. He's only saying one thing now that we're all surrounding him. But wait until he gets around the white man again or the Asian man again, then he'll be on a different wave, which I totally agree with. Obviously, Respect coming from a more altruistic view is kind of like, well, nah, man, let's kind of help him out a bit. But I think that's a dangerous attitude. That's a dangerous attitude. 1804, the Haitian Revolution. Not all black people were singing from the same hymn sheet. There was black on black crime before they could before they could free themselves. They had to cut out the weeds, cut out the loose ends, let's say, and the loose ends were black folks themselves. That was the first battle, the battle amongst yourself, your people. Because in order to move forward, not everyone's going to want to move forward with you. Not everyone's going to want to adopt a code of conduct. And that's all it is. It's a code of conduct that people are trying to adopt. And, we fall short of that as black folks. We don't have a code. Every other nation, race, they have a code, especially when it comes down to black people. They know about black people. They know our history. Ex-slaves, we're known as. Ex-slaves, we're known as. Or the loud, smelly Africans. The only ones that get a bly are the Jamaicans, which are the white supremacist chosen Negroes. They're the only ones that will get a bly because of their, their rich culture and the fact that they don't really play no games, but still Jamaica's still under a system of white supremacy. It's still run by white governments, not just internal but external. So this just goes to show, it just goes to prove what I've thought, that having a code amongst black people is just very difficult. I mean, street code, there's street code. If you're out and you have mandem, there's code. You have code amongst each other, which is, to be honest, quite adhered to. It's lived up to. You have a code, you stick by it. Don't talk to certain people. Don't snake, man. Try and get money with everybody. Bring people in. Some people stray from that code, as I've seen in my time. But the best part of it, people stick to the code. Don't tell the police all your operations or all your friends' operations. Don't, loose lips sink ships. Don't start talking your business to people you don't know. There's a certain code certain men from the hood have. And, we need to adopt that into blackness. Like, don't be there grinning up when people are using the N-word and, just because they don't respect you. It makes it even worse. Don't just try and get along, because they're not trying to get along with you. They want to force their dominance on you. They want to dominate you. This is why we are, apart from being in the hood, anywhere else in systems, we are very few and far in between. We're outnumbered. We're outnumbered in the working community, construction, acting. We're outnumbered. You need to make your own thing if you want to be part of a group like grime, that's come from grassroots, and they're trying to get rid of that. Black people in a group is a problem. 6 or more is an issue. So you want to be you'll be outnumbered for the best of the times. Once you step out of the ghetto and poverty, once you step out of that bubble, ghetto, poverty, drug dealing, gangs, once you step out of that, you're outnumbered. You're outnumbered. So this guy seems like he's been around a lot of white folks. He's been beaten down. I'm sure that's not the first time he's laughed at someone using the N-word, banding it around. I'm sure he's got white friends that probably say that. You know, he wants to be the cool Negro, the one that doesn't mind about anything they say, and he's disguising it around free speech. So he's kind of like, you know, I respect everybody's free speech. Basically, he's saying, I'm too weak to challenge any white supremacist or anyone going at black people. That's all he's saying. I don't want to, you know, I'm too weak. So I'm going to put it down to free speech. And someone in the video said there's something very interesting. They said that it wasn't free speech, it was hate speech. Because you're just going at black folks. Why? Black people ain't done nothing to no one. We ain't done nothing to no one. But everybody despises us. The Indians, Asians, Africans don't get on with Jamaicans. Jamaicans don't get on with Africans. It's just, you know, we are our own worst enemy. The Arabs don't like us. We want to be friends with everybody, be accepted by the other groups. Because we don't really want to be accepted by us. We don't want us. We want other people. And this is the problem. And Rasbach said something very interesting. He brought up the analogy of being surrounded and, you know, having white people around you, and they're coming out their racist jokes, you know, like I mentioned before, and, you know, you just have to sort of laugh. No, you don't. The whole point of having a code is that you don't. That's not constructive to you or other people. Like Neely Fuller said, if you're not going to be constructive, don't be. There's no point. And I'm paraphrasing, by the way. What he did say was, like, every interaction black people have with each other should be constructive. But standing around with your white colleagues laughing at their racist jokes, I don't believe that's constructive. You don't have to turn into Malcolm X or Marcus Garvey. You don't have to do that. You could just choose not to laugh. And believe me, they will respect you more than if you do laugh. You think that they won't respect you if you laugh, or they'll hate you, or they'll have some sort of bias against you. You will have a lot more respect if you choose not to laugh and not to indulge in that. As I say, you don't have to turn into any freedom fire. You just choose not to laugh. Take yourself away from that situation. I find in the workplace, you know, I've been in the workplace and I'm always the only black person there. And I find jokes, you know, the guy who's making the jokes, the funny, the charismatic ones, they're very dangerous. I get very wary when people start telling jokes, because it's always white guys. And you could just see in their face that they just want to tell a racist joke. You can just see they're telling these jokes, and you could just tell that they want to say something racist, and, you know, they want to give a racist joke. They want to say something. They want to say a racist joke, and, you know, you can feel them looking at you or trying to suss you out. Like, what type of black guy are you? Are you one of the ones that will like the racist jokes? Are you one of the ones that want to be accepted, or are you the ones that are not? They try to suss you out. And me, I play my cards close to my chest. I've never had any racist jokes told in my presence. I'm sure they've told it maybe when I'm not around, but never in my presence. Because the way I carry myself, they know not to even go there. And a lot of people would want to hide their racism in jokes, of course. They'd want to hide it in jokes. I'm sure there are some very funny racist jokes out there. That's the whole point of a joke. It should be offensive. That's why it's a joke, I guess. But also, there's truth wrapped up in jokes as well. So, you know, whether they want to be offensive or whether they're telling the truth in the form of a joke, I don't even bother getting into that, because I don't have that. No one has ever told a racist joke in my presence, because they know that these white people know black people more than black people know black people. They know who to do things with and who not to. They know they have You know, even if you're just having a normal, this is what I found. Even if you're just having a normal conversation in the workplace with a white guy, just a normal conversation, just about nothing, they are vetting you. You are being they might not even know it themselves. They might be doing it subconsciously, but they are vetting you. They are giving you psychometric tests. You know, what answers would you give to this? Like, what's the one? What's an example I can give? Okay, an example. I had a conversation with a white guy. We were out seeing customers together, and we were just in the car. Okay, and I wasn't saying anything because there's no need. I wasn't making small talk, and he felt uncomfortable being in the car with a black guy, so he needed to make small talk. He needed to feel comfortable. So, what did he say? I hate Donald Trump. That's what he said. He goes. He just came out of. We weren't even talking about politics. He just came out with it. I hate Donald Trump. I'm like, oh boy. I just looked at him. I'm like, why? And he's looking at me like, oh, does he like Donald Trump? Is he all right? Is he all right? Well, no. I mean, it's just he says some stupid things, doesn't he? I'm like, oh, I don't really know. I just kind of played it. I was just like that. I don't really know. I'm like, okay. So I'm not about to start, going into, politics with a work colleague or religion. Politics and religion, you just stay clear of those conversations with people that you are not really your friends. Right? That's just a polite thing to do. So I just kept it cool, and I didn't really go into it. I didn't be like, he's all right. No, I like him. He says what he thinks, free speech and that. I don't know why the media are on it. I didn't go into any of that. I was just kind of just like, okay. And I just think from the vibe I gave him, he kind of knew not to. That was it. I mean, I didn't say, yeah, I like Trump. And I didn't say I didn't like Trump. I didn't say anything like that. I kind of left it on a neutral ground. I didn't give him too much. And I think that's what kind of let him know that, okay, this guy is obviously, he's not playing ball. Okay, let me just so he didn't feel too uncomfortable. I decided to talk about work because obviously he's a work colleague. He's not my friend. Let's talk about work. I think that's the best thing me and you can do. If you don't, I studied years ago at a school, and one thing that they told you was do not be afraid of the silence. Many people are afraid of silence. They just want to know what you're thinking. In my instance, it's a lot of white people who are afraid of the silence. If you're too quiet, that can be a problem. So sometimes you have to indulge in idle chit chat, even if you don't want to. But it's okay. Just talk about work. Keep it work related. No jokes, no social commentary. Let's just talk about work, and you can build rapport, whatever you need to build around work. So anyway, I say all of that to say it's not an excuse. Being outnumbered or being surrounded, it's not an excuse. It's not. It takes. It's weak to fall into that trap. It's very weak. It's not right, and especially for a grown ass 40-year-old, because he looks about 40-year-old man, to be sort of carried along like that. And I think Respect is giving him way too much leniency, and that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Because Respect wants to be the all black love, all black people stay together. No, it's not like that. It's not all black people come together. No. That guy probably deep down, he probably hates your guts. But he feels threatened because you have a voice and you have people listening to you. But he probably hates your guts. Those were his true feelings. I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating. This is just conjecture. But from the information that's presented in the video and from his mannerisms and what he said and his actions, that's just my conjecture. That's what I take from it. So it's not all about let's all get along, because not all of us can get along, unfortunately. Just life doesn't really work like that. Not all of us can get along. And this is just part of the issue we have, one of the issues we have in the black community, of having no code and having these sellouts all around us, in our families, amongst us as friends. This is the problem. And we need to weed these guys out. They're not our brothers. Okay? They're not. So once again, as John Henry Clark said, not all skin folk are kinfolk. Peace.
You bang out Buddha. You stood with him, fam.
Wait.
You should go on camera. You should go on camera and apologise to the black community. Apologise. Apologise to the community. What do you mean? You know what you done was wrong. You know it. Let him apologise. Hold on. One order. Say nothing, bruv. Say nothing.
I defend freedom of speech, and I defend the right people to say what they want to say, right? But there's consequences, especially if what you're saying is out of context, yeah? But let me say this, I'm offended by anybody using the N-word. Anybody. My behaviour last week, I was embarrassed when I look back.
Why? What are you talking about?
But at the time,
you don't know what you're chatting about.
Okay, when the man was using the word, when Tan was using the word, when Tan was using the N-word, yeah, I was around, yeah, I was laughing with the people, yeah, with everybody else, right? That's embarrassing. I should have done that. But I defend everyone's right for freedom of speech.
So you defend his right?
Sorry? Yeah, fuck up.
So no freedom of hate. No freedom of hate, bro.
I still defend freedom of speech.
Alright, so what about freedom of hate then?
Sorry?
Because he was speaking freedom of hate.
Sorry?
He was speaking freedom of hate.
So does freedom of hate?
I don't agree with what he was saying.
Freedom of speech.
I don't agree with what he was saying.
Does freedom of hate have a limit?
Sorry?
Because you don't agree with what he says, yeah? But you still feel he has the right to say it as freedom of speech, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
So you're only apologising for not reacting and telling him that you disagree with that terminology.
I agree with anyone.
Yeah.
No.
What he was determined at the N-word.
I'm apologising for the way I look, smiling and laughing and not saying anything to him at the particular time, rather than saying something afterwards.
So you should have said something at the time.
I should have said something at the time.
Thank you. That's what you wanted to hear.
If he was there, the man was on a rant, right? So
his rant would have come to an end. I guarantee you,
He's
bro.
coming to an end.
Just like he did today. He tried the same thing.
No.
He tried the same when real man them was around. Not no Callan. When real man them was around, that speech was done.
At the time,
Done.
I was laughing.
Your manifesto got a rip off. Yeah.
When I look back, it looks bad. And even I'm embarrassed by my behaviour.
Say no more.
Say no more.
I'm not following anyone.
Respect that.
I'm not following anyone. No. Wait. I'm here on my own.
But he said sorry, fam.
I'm here on my own. I don't follow nobody.
But you know what it looks like? You know what it looks like when we see you with Tan all the time?
You look like Tan's security
I'm not
guard.
with Tan all the time.
You look like Tan's security guard. Tan's personal security guard. You can't act like that still.
But
who else? Bro, one of them.
No, but real talk, big bro.
One of them is like a
I'm not even respect. I'm not rolling with him. I'm not rolling with him.
You show them man, you know them man they got mental issues and they're spewing so much hate out.
You in the cold
It's not good to see any black man, yeah, even going around them man there. You should, anytime you see someone speaking like that, you should be schooling them. Even if it's towards the Muslims that you don't even like. Man have to have an order of how we speak, because we're big man. You understand? Because my thing is, if I'm angry at Tan speaking to my people like that, I didn't mess with Tan before he said anything about black people. Because what he was saying, how he was dealing with the Muslims. And I knew that from the way he's dealing with the Muslims, it's just open.
He's not our guy.
But who was associated with the most? Who was associating most when he was criticising the Muslims? It was Muslims who was associating with most. It was Muslims who were circulating around him when he was criticising the Muslims. Why? Because everybody thinks that Tan is like car crash TV. What's he gonna say next? So the man,
the Muslim gonna
you're taking him too
so this
seriously.
guy,
The man just
he's
an
been violating
entertainer.
everyone. You get me?
Yeah,
He's been violating Muslims. Of course,
That's why I haven't spoken on him. I'm only speaking on him now. How he's been run out and he's not coming back.
You get me? So how much Muslims gonna be surrounding you?
Aren't you giving him more energy?
Like,
Aren't you giving him more energy by surrounding him?
Yeah, no, we shouldn't be doing that as well, but we don't be surrounding him.
But you have to admit, the reason you was circulating
You don't understand.
is because it's car crash TV.
That's fine, black brother shit. Listen, man, I be your black brother. I'm pushing One second. So this is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of this, yeah? When it was Kalam, when it's this brother, oh, he's our black brother, it's our black brother. You don't want to decide, yeah? Make these men decide that they're your black brother before they stand by man that is violating the thing. Once a man is violating the thing and he stands with man, yeah, he could be black little more, bruv. Just like this ain't amongst ourselves. We're speaking everyone has to do that chat.
you can't keep on leaving it.
Everyone has to do that chat. You go and stand. 1 second. You go and talk behind closed doors, yeah, about black brotherhood, yeah, and then in front of the camera, you stand behind the Chinese man and he's saying nigger, a monkey, and this and that, and you're like,
No.
That's why I said
I'm with you.
So obviously we're gonna. I know, bro. I told him to make this apology for.
No, but I'm saying,
I'm not being hard with him. I'm just speaking the realness. I'm not being hard.
But what I'm saying is he's got tears in his eyes, innit? So we don't need to be speaking.
Like, listen.
We have to change
Forget that tears.
check up here.
You know what man saying? Man, it's not trying.
Because the bombing was going on.
I apologise, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Bro, you know what?
Anyone who's messing with the black community, yeah, and wants to carry on messing with the black community, you understand, fam? If you mess with the black community and you persist to do the thing, then there's a problem, innit? You understand? If you don't want to put it right, then there's a problem. But this brother's come on camera, which takes a lot of balls. Yeah, he said the thing. You get me? I can see tears coming out his eyes, but he's trying to hold it back. So man, not gonna give him bare fire.
No, we tried to do that.
Man, not trying to make him. Man, not trying to break him down. Man, trying to build him up. Same time. You're my big brother too.
But you also understand, yeah. Today he used the N-word. You never see me anywhere near him.
The first time you should have reacted straight away.
Yeah, you said that.
He was laughing. That's what.
No, it's disgusting. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw the video,
I took people around me.
We also the video.
But I did look bad. It does look bad because I was laughing.
you know what happened to him?
You deserve forgiveness.
Let me tell you what happened to him. Mentality.